there. So today we're making a Valentine's Day themed mini journal from some of the printables that I sell in my shop. And I chose this one because Valentine's Day is coming up and this is like actually one of my best sellers in my shop and I really, really love it. I hope you'll see why as we get into it. So real quick, I'm going to show you what these papers look like just so you have an idea of what we're working with. So I have created the journal pages to fit in the journal once you fold the piece of paper. And so here's the cover. And I printed the cover on a kind of heavier cardstock to give it some heft. And then I had this polka dot gift bag laying around that I hung on to. If you can't tell, I love polka dots. I also love rickrack. Most of the things I make have one or the other or both. And so what I did was took the paper bag, wrapped it around the part that would be the binding. And you'll notice in here the cover changes a little bit because I just moved and I don't have my studio unpacked yet. So I cannot find like half of my stuff that I was looking for. So I was like, I'm going to challenge myself to use some of my printables and work with what I have. And so I didn't work quite like I usually do. I didn't have as good of a plan as I usually would. So I played around with it a lot, and you can tell a little bit later in the video, I have some hearts that I'm sticking on the front, and they are clearly not in the end result because I just couldn't get it to work. I didn't like it. So instead, I started over and used the envelope here and then stuck it together. And then I used another piece of the printable scrapbook paper that comes with this set and made kind of a layered look on the inside. So you can see me doing that here. And then I stuck the rickrack on the back because, like I said, I really love rickrack. It is one of my favorite craft items. And so we're transitioning now into using some of the scrapbook papers from the set. And this is just a piece of printer paper. And I just glued them on, clearly. And my idea was that I would make some little hearts with kind of a layered look. And so I just pulled some strips off of it, glued them down, and then you'll see here in a second, I'm going to start cutting some little hearts out. And so I did that. And my idea was like I was going to put them on the front and use them in the way that I was trying to use the other hearts you can see sitting up there at the top. And I just couldn't get right. I just could not come up with something that I liked and that also I felt like would go well inside the folio. So pulled out my shiny new Prismacolor colored pencils that I got myself for Christmas. It was one of my Christmas presents to myself and I had not gotten a chance to use them yet. So that was fun. And I just kind of colored in some of the circles and made some marks and kind of tried to make the whole kind of look feel a little bit more cohesive because it felt very separate to me. You know, usually I would use some paint or I would use some inks or I would use all of the, things that I have in my stash, but that is all tucked away in a box somewhere that I can't find yet. So hopefully when my next video comes, I'll have everything that I'm looking for. But this was a really fun challenge to make myself work with what I have. So I took the hearts, like I said, I couldn't get them to look right. And so I took the hearts and I made them into, I'm not quite sure what you would call it, but this thing right here. So they're all stuck together and I glued them inside so that it's like this kind of faux pocket cover. I found a picture on Pinterest and I was like, oh, that's kind of what I want to do. And so that's what I was going for. And I think it turned out really cute. So you can see the hearts on the front there that I just, like I said, I just couldn't get them right. I just didn't feel like it went. And here is a piece of snippet roll that I made over the summer that I really, really love and have not been able to find a use for yet. And so I was like, I'm going to use some for a belly band. And again, I don't think it quite goes with the vibe I was going for here, but I still think it works. Like it's a little, I feel like maybe it's a little out of place, but I still really like it. So you can see here, I still have the hearts on the front. They just really don't go. But I just used uh, the simple pamphlet stitch to pull this together. And I usually just use cross stitching thread because there's so many pretty colors and it's so easy to use. And now you can see I printed some more pieces out from the printable set, the folio set, and put this couple on the front. And I was like, this is the vibe I was going for. I like it so much better. And covered up the kind of torn part where I'd had the hearts before with another piece of the scrapbook paper and glued that down so that I, again, kind of had that layered look going on. I really love the look of torn paper. But I could not grunge up the edges because I can't find my inks. So next time I'll be able to grunge it up and make it the way I want it to look. But like I said, I still really like the way this turned out, and it made me get a little bit more creative and maybe a little bit more out of my comfort zone in not having everything available. So that was like a really fun part of this. And then printed out some of the what would be in these set journal pages to cut some things out. I'd say they were journal pages / collage sheets. You can do so much with them. And this set has all kinds of like little polka dots and gingham and hearts and all kinds of fun textures. And so printed some extra of those out to see kind of what I could come up with, and glued this little guy on here. And then I'm going to cut another one out in just a second. Here it comes out of the polka dots. Again, like I love polka dots so much. And I felt too like the polka dots, kind of, clearly it's a set, but like it kind of pulled the whole thing together and kind of gave it that look that I was going for. Again, I tried a little piece out here and was like, nope, that's not what I wanted. So set that to the side for my next project. So I'm going to make some more Valentines in my next video. And then I took a pen and just like scribbled around it a little bit to give it kind of a sketchy look. And again, kind of give it more of a, like this is a one piece cohesive look, and went around the couple on the page, and then made a few little marks, outlined some of the hearts with the pen. Since it was so dark and it's such a contrast, I was trying to balance that contrast with the lightness of everything, but also kind of pull it all together and help some of the pieces pop out as well. And that's it. That is all I did. I'd say this probably took me all of maybe, I don't know, between printing and all of the things, I don't know, probably about an hour or so. And like I said, I think it turned out really cute. I'm quite happy with it. And this does go with the folio set, like I said, that I have for sale on Shopify, and it comes with a whole set. It's like all the journal pages / collage sheets, all the scrapbook papers, the whole folio set. There's a tutorial that goes along with it. It is a really, really fun project, and this is one that I get a lot of compliments on. So you should go check that out, and I will see you next time. Bye.